If you think you're not enough, think again. Your calm, your resilience, your silent strength, they're proof you're far more powerful than you believe. In life there comes a moment when a person quietly realizes that they have been living far below their true strength, not because they are weak, but because they are unaware of how powerful they truly are. Stoicism teaches that value is not granted by others. It is revealed through actions, discipline, and the way one responds to challenges. Today, we explore 6 Stoic signs that you are worth far more than you think. 1. You stay calm in situations others panic in. When difficulty arises, some people react instantly, emotion first, logic later, but you pause, you think, you observe. This calmness is not accidental, it is strength. Stoics believe that anyone who can control their emotions during chaos holds a power greater than anything external. If you stay composed when others lose control, it is a sign you possess a deeper strength than you realize. 2. You care more about growth than approval. Many chase validation. They want applause, acceptance, recognition. But you find satisfaction in improvement, becoming better, not being praised. To seek growth over approval is a mark of inner worth. A person who knows their value does not beg to be seen. They rise silently, and their progress speaks louder than any compliment. 3. You endure more than most people know. Your resilience is invisible to others. You don't advertise your struggles, you don't shout your pain, yet every day you continue, you push forward, you refuse to break. The Stoics taught that endurance is one of the highest signs of strength. If you have survived storms without broadcasting them, your worth is far greater than you recognize. 4. You choose peace over drama. Some people thrive on conflict, they feed off chaos. But you value peace. You walk away from unnecessary arguments. You refuse to waste energy on what leads nowhere. Choosing peace isn't weakness, it is discipline. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows their time and energy are precious. This is the behavior of a person who understands their worth, even if subconsciously. 5. You don't let temporary feelings decide long-term actions. You feel emotions, but you are not ruled by them. You reflect before responding. You don't make decisions out of anger, fear, or ego. This emotional discipline is rare. Stoics believe that mastery of the mind is the highest form of self-worth. If you are learning to act with reason rather than impulse, it means you carry a strength that many never develop. 6. You keep moving forward, even when nothing seems certain. Uncertainty stops many people. But you continue forward even when the path is unclear. This persistence is not accidental. It is courage. It is the spirit of someone who believes deep down that they are capable of more. The fact that you keep going proves you already know your worth. You just haven't fully recognized it yet. Calmness in chaos is one of the strongest and most overlooked signs that a person holds deep power within. Most people believe strength is loud, forceful, or aggressive. They imagine power as something visible: raised voices, fast decisions, bold reactions. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. True strength is not loud, it is steady. It is the ability to stay composed when everything around seems to be falling apart. When you remain calm in situations where others panic, it's not because you are emotionless, it's because you understand that emotions don't solve the problem. Panic never made anything better. Fear never brought clarity. Anger never built wisdom. But calmness Calmness allows you to think clearly, to choose wisely, and to stand grounded when life tries to shake you. This calmness is not something you consciously brag about or even notice in yourself. It shows up naturally. When a challenge appears, you pause instead of react. You breathe before responding. You take a moment to understand what is happening instead of letting your emotions decide for you. This single habit separates you from the majority of people without you even realizing it. Most people instantly respond based on their feelings. Fear makes them retreat. Anger makes them lash out, and pressure makes them crumble. But your calmness gives you an advantage. You act based on reality, not on impulses. This is a rare skill, and it reveals your true worth, because only a strong mind can stay steady when things become uncertain. Stoics believe that the biggest power a person can have is control over their inner world. Anyone can pretend to be strong when life is easy. Anyone can appear brave when nothing challenges them. But the real test of character appears when things go wrong. Calmness in chaos shows that you have built inner stability. It shows that your emotions do not rule you, you rule them. And this quiet control is something even you might not fully appreciate about yourself. You may think you're just handling it, but what you're actually doing is demonstrating mental strength that many people spend years trying to achieve. Calmness also allows you to protect your energy. When everyone around you reacts impulsively, they waste strength, time, and focus. They make mistakes because they act too quickly. They regret things they said in anger. They worry so much that they freeze. But calmness gives you a shield. It gives you the ability to step back, analyze, and respond with intention. This is why people with calm minds often become natural problem solvers. Others look to them during chaos because they bring clarity instead of confusion. There is a quiet confidence inside you that you may not even acknowledge. When trouble appears, you don't run away from it. You face it with a clear mind. You tell yourself, "Let me think." This is a powerful statement. It means you trust your ability to figure things out. You may not feel fearless, but your calm actions show that you are. Fear may exist inside you, but it doesn't control you. You might feel pressure, but you don't let it break your focus. You may feel uncertainty, but you don't allow it to cloud your judgment. Your calmness is proof that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Most people cannot hold themselves together when things go wrong, but you can. And not only do you stay steady, you move forward with intention. This is why you are worth more than you think. Your strength is not measured by how loudly you react, but by how steadily you remain centered. Calmness is your superpower, even if you've never called it that. It shows wisdom, discipline, emotional maturity, and inner strength, and these qualities make you far more powerful than you realize. Choosing growth over approval is one of the clearest signs that a person possesses a strong inner foundation, even if they don't fully recognize it. Most people spend their lives chasing validation from others, seeking likes, praise, acceptance, and permission. They want to be approved, noticed, and recognized. Their sense of worth depends on the reactions they receive. But when you start caring more about your personal development than what others think of you, something powerful happens. You begin to rise from dependence to independence. You start building a life based on inner truth, not external applause. And often you don't even realize how rare and valuable this shift is. When you choose growth over approval, it means you are not afraid to be misunderstood. You don't need others to clap for you in order to take a step forward. You don't require applause before improving yourself. You simply focus on becoming better mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This mindset shows that you have already stepped onto a higher path. Most people do what looks good. You do what is good. Most people make choices to impress others. You make choices to improve your character. This difference is subtle, but it says everything about your worth. People who seek approval live a fragile life. Their confidence rises and falls depending on who agrees with them. But those who choose growth build confidence from within. Your improvement is your reward. Your progress is your motivation. You don't chase external validation because you know that real transformation happens in silence, in private moments, in decisions nobody else sees. This is a powerful sign of inner strength. It proves you trust your own judgment more than the opinions around you. And here's something you may not realize. Choosing growth requires courage. It means you are willing to look at your flaws, admit your weaknesses, and confront areas that need improvement. Many people avoid this because it's uncomfortable. They stay the same because changing themselves feels harder than seeking approval. But you, even if quietly, move toward a better version of yourself. You try to learn, adapt, reflect, and evolve. This is not something everyone does. This is something only the strong do. Growth doesn't give quick rewards. It demands patience. It demands consistency. And it demands a willingness to fail without being embarrassed. Every time you choose to improve yourself instead of impress others, you prove that you are mature, focused, and aware of your true potential. You may not realize it, but this shows deep self-respect. It shows that you believe your future is worth investing in. Approval seeks short-term comfort. Growth seeks long-term strength. And choosing the long-term path is a sign of a powerful mind. Also, valuing growth means you don't get controlled by negative opinions. You understand that every person is viewing life through their own filters, fears, and limitations. You no longer adjust your path just to fit their expectations. You start listening to your own inner compass. This independence is priceless. It's the foundation of personal freedom, and anyone who reaches this mindset is worth far more than they realize. When a person chooses growth, they naturally attract respect. They may not be trying to impress anyone, but people begin to notice them anyway. Their discipline stands out. Their mindset stands out. Their progress stands out. Ironically, those who stop seeking approval often gain it, not because they chase it, but because authenticity shines brighter than performance. Your commitment to growth, even when no one is watching, is a mark of real strength. You might think you are just trying to improve yourself, but what you're actually doing is revealing your inner worth. You are proving that you don't need external validation to move forward. You trust your path, you trust your journey, and you trust the person you're becoming. This trust is rare, it is powerful. It is a quiet sign that you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than you give yourself credit for. Choosing growth over approval shows that you already know your value. You're simply growing into it more every day. There is a kind of strength that never gets seen, never gets praised, and never gets understood by most people. The strength of silent endurance. You endure more than others realize, more than you talk about, and more than you allow the world to see. You carry things quietly, not because you aren't affected, but because you've learned that your battles are not performances. They are personal tests of resilience. And even though you may not think much of this, even though you might dismiss it as just dealing with life, the truth is that your silent endurance is a powerful sign that you are worth far more than you think. Most people seek comfort at the first sign of difficulty. They complain loudly when life becomes stressful. They express every frustration, every inconvenience, and every emotional storm. But you carry your challenges differently. You don't broadcast your pain. You don't announce every struggle. You don't look for attention or sympathy. Instead, you keep moving. You keep showing up. You deal with what you must, without requiring the world to stop and acknowledge it. This ability to keep going, even when burdened, reveals a strength that is deeper than most people ever cultivate. Silent endurance is not weakness. It is not suppression. It is not pretending everything is fine. It is a choice, a deliberate decision to hold yourself together even when the weight is heavy. It is choosing stability when chaos tries to pull you apart. It is choosing action when giving up might be easier. And it is choosing inner strength over external validation. This mindset is rare. It belongs to someone who has confronted hardship and realized that complaining does nothing to solve it. Enduring without making noise is a sign of wisdom, maturity, and control. You have likely endured challenges that would break many people. Maybe you've faced disappointments that nobody knows about. Maybe you've carried responsibilities others never had to deal with. Maybe you fought internal battles in silence, fears, doubts, worries, and yet you kept going. You stood your ground. You didn't collapse. You continued forward even when your mind whispered excuses to stop. This is not ordinary behavior. This is resilience. And it deserves recognition, even if you rarely give it to yourself. The Stoics believed that a person's true character is revealed not by how loudly they confront hardship, but by how consistently they rise above it. Your endurance shows that you have a powerful spirit, even if you underestimate yourself. You may not see your strength clearly because you've grown used to carrying weight, but that doesn't diminish the fact that what you do is extraordinary. Many people crumble under pressure. You adapt. Many people surrender to obstacles. You push through them quietly. Many people break down publicly. You rebuild yourself privately. Your silent endurance also shows emotional intelligence. You understand that exploding in frustration doesn't solve anything. You understand that dwelling on pain doesn't heal it. You understand that life will challenge you, but your response is what truly matters. So, instead of reacting dramatically, you respond with resilience. Instead of exaggerating your struggles, you handle them with calm determination. This quiet steadiness is a sign of inner power and self-control. And here's something you might not realize. The ability to endure in silence means you have a strong foundation within. You have a mind that refuses to collapse. You have a heart that refuses to give up. You have a will that refuses to be defeated easily. People with weak character make noise. People with strong character move silently. You are among the ones who move silently, not because your struggles are small, but because your strength is great. You may not always feel strong, you may not always feel capable, but look at what you've survived. Look at what you've carried. Look at how far you've come despite everything you never talked about. That is strength, that is resilience, that is proof that you are worth far more than you think. Silent endurance reveals a depth of character that deserves acknowledgement, respect, and pride, even if you've never given yourself any of those things before. Choosing peace over drama is one of the most powerful signs of inner worth, even though the world often mistakes it for weakness. Many people live in constant conflict, reacting to every insult, every inconvenience, every disagreement. They feel the need to prove themselves, argue back, and involve themselves in situations that drain energy but add nothing to their life. But when someone begins to value peace more than chaos, it shows a deep maturity, a level of self-respect that doesn't rely on fighting every battle. And even if you don't always realize it, your ability to walk away from unnecessary drama is evidence of your strength, not your fragility. Choosing peace means understanding that not every comment deserves a reaction. It means recognizing that arguments born from ego, insecurity, or misunderstanding are not worth your time. It means stepping away from negativity instead of feeding it. This is not the path of someone who is weak. It is the path of someone who knows their value. People who chase drama do so because they need attention, validation, or emotional stimulation. But those who choose peace have already found something more important: inner stability. They have reached a place where chaos no longer feels exciting. It feels exhausting, and more importantly, unnecessary. You may not realize this, but every time you decide to remain calm instead of jumping into conflict, you're exercising self-control. Every time you choose silence over argument, you're proving that your energy is too valuable to waste. Every time you decide that your mental peace matters more than being right, you're showing wisdom that many people never achieve. This ability to prioritize what truly matters is a quiet indicator of your worth, because it means you understand that your mind, your emotions, and your time deserve protection. Walking away from drama is not avoidance, it is self-defense. It is choosing to protect your inner world instead of letting someone else disturb it. Some people think that reacting quickly, arguing loudly, or defending themselves constantly makes them strong. But strength is not about reacting. It is about choosing when not to react. It is about recognizing the difference between battles that matter and distractions that drain you. You have learned to identify that difference, even if you don't consciously think about it. The moment you choose peace, you're already operating on a higher level than those who thrive on conflict. Stoic philosophy teaches that what you control is your response, not the world around you. By choosing peace, you are practicing one of the highest Stoic principles, mastery of the self. You are saying, without words, I am responsible for my inner world, not anyone else. That is a powerful statement. It means you know your worth. You know that your emotions don't need to be thrown into every situation. You know that reacting to negativity only gives it power. And you know that your life becomes lighter, clearer, and stronger when you don't let drama pull you in. People who choose peace also show confidence. They do not feel threatened when someone disagrees with them. They do not feel the need to defend themselves to everyone. They do not feel compelled to prove anything. Confidence is silent, insecurity is loud. By choosing peace, your silence becomes a form of strength. It shows that your self-worth is not shaken by external noise. And even though you might underestimate this quality in yourself, it is one of the strongest signs that you are worth more than you think. People who know their value don't chase arguments. They don't waste energy proving themselves to those who don't matter. They protect their peace because they understand that their mental clarity and emotional stability are priceless. Your ability to walk away, to stay calm, to avoid unnecessary conflict, this is wisdom, this is strength, this is emotional maturity, and this is a sign that you have grown into someone who values inner harmony over external chaos. Choosing peace is not the easy path, but it is the right one. It reflects a deep self-awareness and a high level of inner worth. Even if you don't always see it, choosing peace over drama proves that you are stronger, wiser, and more valuable than you believe. Acting with reason instead of being controlled by emotions is one of the strongest indicators of inner strength, yet it's a quality people rarely give themselves credit for. Most individuals allow their emotions to dictate their actions. Anger pushes them to say things they regret. Fear stops them from taking opportunities. Impulse leads them into situations they later wish they avoided. But when someone starts choosing logic over emotional reactions, it means something powerful is already happening inside them. They are rising above the noise of their own mind. They're not suppressing emotions, they're mastering them. And this mastery is a clear sign that they are worth far more than they think. Feelings are natural, but letting them control your decisions can lead to chaos. When you take a pause before reacting, you are doing something rare. You are giving yourself space to understand what's happening instead of simply responding blindly. Many people never learn this. They rush into arguments, decisions, commitments, or conflicts without thinking. But you have learned to step back. You have learned to examine the moment. You've learned that reacting quickly doesn't solve anything. It only creates more problems. This ability to pause is not small. It is a sign of intelligence, maturity, and deep inner worth. You might not even realize that you do this. You may think, I'm just trying to stay calm, or I don't want to make things worse. But what you're actually doing is applying one of the strongest Stoic principles, reason over impulse. The Stoics believed that the quality of a person's life depends on how they respond to their emotions. If emotions control you, life becomes unstable. But if you control your emotions, life becomes steady, even in chaos. Your ability to act with reason shows that you understand this truth intuitively. Acting with reason means you refuse to let temporary feelings dictate long-term actions. Anger passes, fear passes, stress passes, but the consequences of emotional decisions can last for years. You've learned that patience brings clarity. You've learned that silence often protects your peace. You've learned that waiting, observing, and thinking lead to wiser choices. This is a powerful form of self-respect. It shows that you value your future more than you value momentary reactions. This mindset also reveals courage. It is easy to lash out when something hurts you. It is easy to run away when something scares you. It is easy to let emotions decide everything for you, but facing those emotions, understanding them without letting them control you, is a sign of real bravery. It means you trust yourself. It means you believe you can handle the moment without losing control. It means you know your emotions are temporary and not rulers of your life. When you act with reason, you also protect your relationships. You avoid unnecessary arguments. You avoid hurting people with words spoken in frustration. You avoid making commitments under pressure. This behavior builds connections based on stability, not volatility. People naturally trust someone who responds thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. They see you as grounded, reliable, and steady. And even if you don't notice it, this earns you respect without you asking for it. Your ability to think before reacting also means you are not influenced by external forces easily. Situations don't control you. People's actions don't dictate your behavior. You are free from emotional manipulation because your decisions come from clarity, not chaos. This independence is rare. Many people are trapped by their emotions, but you're learning to rise above them. This quiet control reveals that you have a strong inner foundation. the kind that cannot be shaken easily. You may underestimate this quality in yourself because it feels natural, but it is anything but common. Acting with reason instead of impulse shows that you have cultivated wisdom. It shows that your mind is steady even when your emotions are loud. It shows that you value clarity over reaction, growth over ego, and truth over temporary feelings. This is not ordinary behavior. This is strength, discipline, and emotional intelligence working together. And the truth is simple. Someone who can master their emotions is capable of mastering their life. You are worth far more than you think, and every time you choose reason over impulse, you prove it, not just to the world, but to yourself. Moving forward, even when nothing feels certain, is one of the strongest, most underrated signs of inner courage. Most people only move when the path is clear, when the reward is guaranteed, when the outcome feels safe. But when someone continues walking despite doubt, confusion, or fear, it means they carry a strength that goes far beyond motivation. It means they have something inside them that refuses to be stopped by uncertainty. And even though you might not recognize it in yourself, this ability to keep going is a powerful indication that you are worth far more than you think. Uncertainty is uncomfortable. It makes the mind restless and the heart uneasy. It creates questions that have no immediate answers. What if I fail? What if things don't work out? What if I am not ready? Most people let these questions paralyze them. They stop moving, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect reassurance that everything will be all right. But you keep going. You take steps even when you don't know exactly where they will lead. You make decisions even when the outcome is not guaranteed. This isn't recklessness. This is courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It is the decision to move despite fear. And you demonstrate this every time you push forward without having all the answers. The truth is, no one ever fully knows what they are doing. Every great achievement in history began with uncertainty. Every meaningful path starts with doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. One group waits for certainty, and the other walks toward it. You, without realizing it, belong to the second group. When you move in uncertainty, it means you trust something deeper than the situation itself. You trust yourself. You trust your ability to adapt, to learn, to grow, and to handle whatever comes your way. You might not say these words aloud, but your actions speak them every time you take a step into the unknown. This trust is rare. Most people only have confidence when circumstances are comfortable, but your willingness to take risks, to keep going, to continue trying even when things aren't clear, shows a level of inner strength that many never reach. Uncertainty often reveals a person's true character. It shows who hides and who rises. It shows who waits and who acts. It shows who avoids struggle and who faces it. Your ability to move forward, even slowly, even quietly, even imperfectly, shows that you are someone who rises, someone who acts, someone who confronts life instead of avoiding it. You might feel unsure, but your actions show determination. You might feel afraid, but your feet still move forward. You might feel overwhelmed, but you refuse to freeze. This is not something small. This is a sign of deep resilience. Stoicism teaches that no one controls the future, but everyone controls their effort. You embody this principle when you keep moving. You understand, consciously or not, that progress is made through action, not certainty. You understand that clarity comes from doing, not waiting. You understand that growth happens on the path, not before you step onto it. And here is something important. Your willingness to continue forward during uncertain times means you haven't given up on yourself. Even when the world feels confusing, even when situations feel unstable, even when life feels unpredictable, you still choose to try. You still choose to move. You still choose to believe that something ahead of you is worth reaching for. This quiet persistence is a sign of faith, not blind faith in luck, but faith in your own strength. You might think you are simply surviving, simply trying, simply doing what you must. But your persistence in uncertainty reveals something incredible. You have a brave heart. You have a strong mind. You have a spirit that refuses to collapse. And this is why you are worth far more than you think. Every step you take in uncertainty proves your resilience, your courage, and your inner power. You are stronger than you realize, and your journey, especially through unclear paths, is living proof of it.